Hello and welcome, my dear friends. I am so happy you're here, sharing this creative moment with me. Today, I want to invite you into a space where creativity, presence, and well-being come together. No matter where you're joining from or what your experience with art may be, your presence adds something special to this moment. Today we'll be painting a landscape inspired by a place that holds deep meaning for me, a memory from Half Moon Bay. I will paint it with just a few colors picked from a White Knight's watercolor set gifted by my mother-in-law many years ago. The session is meant to be gentle and reflective, a time to slow down, savor the process, and reconnect with the simple joy of creating. So, please settle in, sip something you love, and let's take a breath together. You might choose to paint along, or perhaps you'll simply enjoy being present and observing. My sincere wish is for you to find a sense of calm and inspiration here. I am deeply grateful to share these creative moments with all of you. As I begin sketching, I want to mention for anyone new here that I'll be listing all the supplies I'm using in the video description below. If you have any questions about materials, techniques, or just want to say hello, please feel free to leave a comment. I always love hearing from you and connecting with all of you. And now I want to share a little more about the heart of this video. Today I would like to capture a scene from Half Moon Bay where I find myself again and again, because I love this place so much. And with this work, I also would like to explore how art can help us slow down, become more present, and nurture our well-being. Throughout our time together, we'll reflect on how engaging with nature, even through a painting, can lift our spirits and activate the creative parts of our minds. I invite you to notice the lines and shapes I'm drawing, and how you feel as you watch the scene take shape. Art has a unique way of connecting us to our memories, our emotions, and to each other. My hope is that as we move through this process, you'll find a sense of calm and inspiration, something you can carry with you long after the session ends. As I lay in the first wash, I am gently outlining the shapes of the clouds, just enough to give myself a roadmap for the painting ahead. This step reminds me of how I used to approach my work as a nurse, always feeling the need to have everything mapped out and under control. Back then, I was young and felt an immense pressure to know every detail, to prepare for every possible scenario before each shift. The constant rotation between days and nights were exhausting, and the stress and anxiety eventually took a toll on my health and well-being. Now, having stepped away from continuing my career in nursing due to my health, I've had time to reflect on what it means to live well. I've realized that I don't need to plan every moment or have all the answers. Instead, I'm learning to embrace the present moment, to let go of the urge to control every outcome. Modern life still demands planning, and those thoughts are always there, hovering and creating noise. But I'm practicing how to notice them, let them sit with me, and be gentle and rational about what really needs my attention. With this painting, I'm allowing myself to let go of expectations about how the final piece should look. I'm focusing instead on feeling my way through the scene, remembering the peace and connection I felt returning to that spot in Half Moon Bay time and again. let's briefly talk about what we have done so far. I started by pre-wetting the shadow areas of the clouds and then applied a very pale wash of pre-mixed grays, just to hint at the cloud shapes and give myself a subtle roadmap. Next, I moved into the sky, blending cobalt blue and ultramarine blue, and then gently introduced touches of Madder Lake and yellow ochre. Mixing these colors creates a beautiful range of grays, which brings a natural softness to the sky. At this stage, I really let myself close up, flicking and spattering some premixed violet and yellow ochre to add texture and spontaneity. I know it can feel risky to be this loose, and many of you might worry about ruining your painting. My suggestion is to grab any watercolor paper you're not attached to and just play. Let the colors flow, spatter water and paint, and see what abstract shapes and patterns emerge. This freedom is such a vital part of watercolor painting. As I continue, I am building up the shadows and the clouds with more premixed grays and purples. And if you feel inspired by the skies where you live, I encourage you to step outside on a cloudy day and really observe. Notice the shapes, the shifting shadows, and the highlights. Take photos of the scenes that move you and bring those memories back to your painting table. Okay, we've let our paper dry completely, and now it's time to move into the second wash. I'm turning my attention to the middle ground and foreground, searching for a balance of greens to layer into the scene. If you look at the reference photo, you'll notice that the foreground is mostly golden yellow, but as I worked, I felt the greens wanting to emerge and take center stage in the painting. And at this stage, I allowed myself to observe from a distance, watching how the colors mingled and moved across the wet surface, embracing the nature of wet-on-wet painting. One of you recently shared that this painting feels blurry like a memory, and that observation truly touched me. That's exactly what this piece is, a memory, soft around the edges, shaped by the time and feeling. I took the original photo 11 years ago, and it's remarkable how these moments resurface from the quiet corners of my mind, asking to be painted, to be given new life in watercolor. Perhaps you too have memories that linger, scenes or feelings that are close to your heart. Painting from these memories is a deeply honest and beautiful act. I feel that by doing so, we are honoring our feelings, the light and the presence of that moment. This is the heart of what we're exploring today, how art can help us reconnect with our stories, embrace the present, and gently let go of the need for control or perfection. I can only hope that more of these memories will continue to surface so I can share them with you. Dear friends, as I look at this landscape and the painting it inspired, I'm reminded of how the very act of creating can become a gentle refuge, a way to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. I think that when I engage in art, especially with natural themes, I'm nurturing my mind and spirit in ways that science is only beginning to fully understand. When I paint, I notice how my worries soften, how time seems to slow, and how I become fully present in the moment, immersed in color, light, and memories. This state of flow is deeply calming, offering relief from stress and anxiety and allowing me to express feelings that words sometimes can't reach. There is something especially powerful about painting scenes from nature. Our connection to the natural world, what scientists call biophilia, runs deep. Just as a walk in the fields or along the shore can lift our mood, recreating those places in art can evoke that same sense of peace and belonging. I have recently learned that people who feel connected to nature, even through creative acts, report greater happiness, life satisfaction, and overall well-being. Art also gives us a safe space to explore and release emotions, to heal and to grow. Each brushstroke is an act of self-care, a way to honor our experiences and to transform even difficult feelings into something meaningful and new. You don't need to create a masterpiece to feel these benefits. Just allowing yourself to play, experiment, and express is enough. So, as you watch or paint along, try to remind yourself that this creative act is a gift you can give yourself. It's a way to be present, to find clarity, and to reconnect with what matters most. Through art we can find healing, joy, and a sense of connection, both to the world outside and to the landscape within. Dear friends, as we come to the finishing touches of this painting session, I find myself reflecting on the themes from my days as a nurse to this very moment, brush in hand, letting the colors flow freely across the paper. Back then I felt a constant need to be in control, to prepare for every possibility, to anticipate every outcome. That mindset, though necessary in the hospital, left me drained and always striving to manage what couldn't truly be managed. Now, as I look at this landscape, transformed from a vivid memory into a loose, expressive watercolor, I realize how much I've learned about letting go. Painting has become a gentle practice in surrender, allowing things to unfold naturally, embracing the unpredictable nature of water and pigment, and finding beauty in what emerges. Just as the grasses in the foreground blend and shift, I've learned to trust the process, to be present, and to let my creativity flourish without needing to control every detail. Creativity, especially when inspired by nature, offers us so many gifts. It grounds us in the present moment, quiets the noise of daily life, and gives us space to express emotions that words sometimes can't reach. And when we create, we tap into our innate connection to the world around us, a connection that brings calm, joy, and a sense of belonging. So as you look at your own work, or simply enjoy the unfolding of color and memory here, I hope you feel inspired to let go a little, to explore and to trust your own creativity. And if you are a beginner, I warmly invite you to explore my Watercolor Basics playlist, where you'll find step-by-step guidance and foundational techniques to help you grow. And for those who enjoy sessions like today, where we paint, reflect, and let stories unfold, I hope you'll join me in my Watercolor Stories playlist for more narrative-driven painting experiences. My dear friends, thank you for being here with me today, for sharing your presence. May you carry with you the peace and possibility that creativity brings. And may you always find beauty in letting things unfold just as they are.